Okay. Candidates for the one-year postgraduate program in management for executives, please rise. The candidates will individually receive their diplomas from the chairperson as I call their names, then return to their seats and remain standing in front of their chairs until all the participants of the program have received their diplomas and the chairperson has conferred the diplomas on them. The candidates would then bow and sit down. Achal Agarwal. Baswa Veeran Babu. Viral Naresh Chandra Berawala. Lakshmish Bhatt. Narayana Birakayala. Sanghamitra Chakravarti. Mukul Chaudhary. Lokesh Dadhich. Mitesh Chandrakant Damania. Manoj Gupta. Sachin Gupta. Jaikrishnan Hari. Manish Jain. Saurabh Jha. Liju John. Prashant Koshi John. Vivek Joshi. Nirav Kanakia. Arminder Kaur. James Beeson. Kelkar Abhay Suresh. Gaurav Khandelwal. Manish Khare. Lakshmi R. Kumar. Vikas Kumar. Kishore K. Manoj Shrikanta Kurukkal. Krishnan Madhabhushi. Manoj R. Sushant Mantri. Vasu Merugu. Ashish Narang. Swati Nigam. Sundar Nukala. Vinod Pandey. Avinash Kumar Pathak. Satyen Narayan Pathak. Kiran Patil. Girish Phansalkar. Krishna Ponnada. Saket Pradhan. Rahul C. Prasad. Anant Ramakrishnan. Rajesh Sachde. Sanu Kottakat Samuel. Rajiv Sareen. Pratik Shah. Yogesh Sharada. Ajay Sharma. Tarun Sharma. Prasanna Srinivasan. S. Shashidhar, Dheeraj Kumar Srivastav, Alok Srivastav, Mayank Srivastav, Mohit Srivastav, Samyukta Surendran, and in absentia, Gopinath GSSS, Mohammad Noor Mohammad Iqbal, and Vedavyas.
By the authority given to me by the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad Society, I confer on you the one-year postgraduate program in management for executives, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of it. Thank you.
The Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad Gold Medal for Scholastic Performance has been awarded to the following one-year postgraduate program in management for executives participant, who will come forward as his name is called and receive the medal from the chief guest. In the true spirit of this program being a global program, our first awardee is a non-Indian citizen, Mr. James Beeson.
We are indeed very fortunate to have Honourable Finance Minister Mr. P. Chidambaram as the chief guest of this convocation. All of us who have lived through the resurgence of India in the post-reform period are well aware of the remarkable contribution that Mr. Chidambaram has made to India's progress on the economic front. First, as the Commerce Minister in the early 90s, he was responsible for bringing in a modern export-import policy that put Indian exports on a growth path. Since then, Indian exports have doubled as a percentage of GDP, and India has become an open economy ready to take its rightful place in the world trade. Second, he dared to dream of an India in which tax rates are moderate but compliance is high. It required a man of immense courage and intellectual conviction to do what Mr. Chidambaram did in his dream budget of 1997. 10 years later, all tenets on which Mr. Chidambaram had based his budget of 97 have been fully vindicated. The tax to GDP ratio has increased dramatically as a result of rapid economic growth and better tax compliance. Third, in his current stint as the finance minister, he has presided over one of the fastest growing economies in the world. During the last 3 years, he has steered the country's finances towards a remarkable fiscal consolidation in the face of intense political pressures. To this august gathering, Mr. Chidambaram therefore needs no introduction. But our tradition does demand a formal introduction of the chief guest, and hence I would attempt one. Mr. Chidambaram graduated from the Presidency College, Chennai, and then went on to obtain his Bachelor of Law degree from the University of Madras. Subsequently, he obtained his MBA from the Harvard Business School. He then began a very successful law practice which has seen him establish his reputation as one of the country's leading lawyers in the Supreme Court of India and in several high courts. Mr. Chidambaram entered the Lok Sabha for the first time in 1984 from Sivaganga constituency in Tamil Nadu. He has won elections from the same constituency in 1989, 1991, 1996, 1998 and 2004. He served in the Union Cabinet under Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi as a Minister of State in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, and later as a Minister of State for Internal Security. In 1991, he became a Minister of State with independent charge in the Ministry of Commerce. Mr. Chidambaram's first stint as the Finance Minister was during 1996 to 1998 in the United Front government. In 2004, he became Finance Minister in the Congress government led by Dr. Manmohan Singh, the coalition led by Congress. Apart from law and politics, Mr. Chidambaram has a great deal of interest in literature, especially the Tamil literature. All of us are familiar with that. We are indeed honored to have Mr. Chidambaram with us today. Sir, may I invite you to deliver the convocation address.
Dr. Vijaypat Singhania, Chairperson. Dr. Bakul Dolakia, members of the board, members of the IIM Ahmedabad Society, faculty, parents, graduating students, other students of this distinguished institution, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply honored by your kind invitation to address you at your convocation. Nearly 30 years after I left the business school that I attended, I can only speculate on what is taught at a business school or how it is taught. Nevertheless, it is quite evident that what you are taught and what you have learned command great value beyond the boundaries of your institute. Allow me to recall a story concerning the president of Harvard University. He was once asked how Harvard remained such a great treasure house of knowledge. With characteristic modesty, the president replied, quote, "Because the freshman class brings to the university so much knowledge and the graduating class takes away so little," unquote. If what you leave behind is greater than what you will take with you, there is a great future for this institute and for the succeeding generations of students. As you prepare to step out into the world outside your campus, a world of which many of you may have some experience, I wish to give you an account of that world as I see it, how it has changed, how it has resisted change, and how sometimes it still refuses to change. The key challenge of our times is change. The key challenge of a manager is the management of change. The manager is not always and not only a change agent. There are others who wish to change the manager. There are many forces that play upon the manager and that attempt to influence the manager. Not the least among them, the very stakeholders whose thought and behavior the manager wishes to change. After some years, you will find, as I have done, that it is not easy to distinguish between the change agent and the object of change, or between cause and effect, or between action and reaction. Today, I wish to speak to you on bringing about change in the economy with the objective of driving economic growth to a higher plane. Through recorded history, and especially in the 2000 years that are marked by the Gregorian calendar, the fortunes of different countries of the world have swung from one end to the other. In 1800, India is believed to have accounted for 20% of the world trade. Today, its share is barely 1%. Once upon a time, the Greek and Roman empires were among the most powerful and the most prosperous. Today, Greece is a popular holiday destination as well as an emerging financial center, while the Roman Empire is no more than a prosperous Italy in search of a government. 300 years ago, the United States did not exist. Today, it is the world's richest country and claims to be the sole superpower. The lesson history teaches us is that no country is condemned to remain poor forever, and no country can claim to have a perpetual lease on prosperity. The rise and fall of nations is a fact of history. Nations compete with each other, and those that are wise and resourceful will certainly gain over others. Look around, and you will find that this has happened in our own neighborhood. Many countries that are smaller than India and that were poorer than India have surged forward. Some of them have wiped out abject poverty. For example, Malaysia and Thailand. Some have become middle-income countries. For example, South Korea. Some have achieved remarkable progress in literacy, life expectancy, and other human development indicators. For example, Sri Lanka. While some countries may have natural advantages, there is none that cannot be equaled or excelled. While some countries start with disadvantages, there is none that cannot be overcome or turned into an opportunity. India got its chance in 1947. We set out to build the institutions of a democracy, an elected parliament, an independent judiciary, a strong civil service, a free press, non-governmental organizations, and so on. We achieved a large measure of success in these efforts. However, we failed in one important area. We did not, by accident or design, encourage the creation of wealth. Wealth creation, especially through private enterprise, was viewed with suspicion and sometimes even contempt. Party manifestos discussed the well-being of the nation and the welfare of the people, but did not discuss the creation of wealth. I'm surprised that few people in authority saw the connection between wealth and well-being, or between wealth and welfare. There was little concern expressed when the economy grew at no more than 3.5% per year for nearly 3 decades. On the contrary, there was a sense of contentment with the rate of growth and a false belief that our social objectives would be served by such moderate growth. But all that was in the distant past. India got its second chance in 1991. The gravity of the economic crisis seemed to have stunned the political parties into acquiescence as the reformers began work on changing the policies that determine the course of an economy. What was more encouraging was the silent support of the majority of the people who look forward to change. Suddenly, there emerged a class of people, young, eager, ambitious, and ready to take risks, that seized the opportunity with both hands to become entrepreneurs. New businesses were started, new products were made, new services sprung up, new markets were located. Above all, this class dared to challenge the established order. Neither family, nor lineage, nor wealth, nor rank deterred the new tigers. In the space of 10 years, the world of business was turned upside down. It is well to remind ourselves that businesses that are household names today did not exist 15 years ago. And the few that did were generally regarded as upstarts. The acknowledged leaders of business today, save a few honorable exceptions, have come out, I'm proud to say, of the new mint of the liberal economic era. I salute the generation that has caused the transformation of India's economy. As torchbearers of the next generation of entrepreneurs and managers, I ask you, what will you do? What will you be? Are you content to become part of the current establishment that will soon become the old establishment? Or are you willing to look beyond the immediate circle of family, work, and friends and take on greater challenges that face the country? For every Indian who sees the world as his oyster, there is another Indian, or perhaps two or three, who has the aspiration but not the means to realize his most modest dreams. I am proud of the fact that we have achieved on average a growth rate of GDP of 8.6% during the period of 3 years that will end today. At the same time, I'm acutely aware that our economy is growing at a rate below its true potential. Why is this so? Undoubtedly, there are many reasons, but the most important appears to be that nearly 1/2 of the people of the country do not fully participate in the growth process due to lack of education or skills or jobs or capital or opportunity. They are the poor, not only in terms of income poverty, but also in terms of many human development indicators. Each one of the deficiencies that hold back the poor from fully participating in the process of economic growth can be remedied through suitable policies. Unfortunately, however, the debate in India deliberately steers clear of policy issues and focuses almost entirely on expenditure. On social services alone, the central government's expenditure in 2006-07 is estimated at rupees 66,727 crore, which is a 6-fold increase from the level of expenditure in 1995. Likewise, on poverty alleviation programs, the total expenditure of the central government in 2006-07 will be rupees 45,466 crore. The latter sum, if distributed to every family below the poverty line, will ensure an allocation of rupees 8,500 per year per family. Where do these monies go? For every rupee of outlay, what is the output? And after measuring the output, what is the outcome? The progress from outlays to outcomes has been marked by failure of two kinds. The first is design failure, and the second is governance failure. The midterm appraisal of the 9th plan, 1997 to 2002, put the issue succinctly, and I quote, "Successful implementation of development programs requires adequate funds, appropriate policy framework, and effective delivery mechanism. Past experience has shown that availability of funds is no panacea for tackling problems of poverty and backwardness. It may be a necessary but not a sufficient condition," unquote. This point was also emphasized in the 10th plan document, and it has been reiterated in the approach paper to the 11th plan. Let me share with you the experience of implementing Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. The number of out-of-school children in the age group 6 to 13 years in 2005 was over 1.34 crore, or 6.94% of all children in that age group. The proportion of out-of-school children varied across states, but there was no evidence of any direct correlation to the backwardness or the poverty of a state. Orissa, with a high incidence of poverty, had a lower proportion of out-of-school children than the national average. So had Rajasthan. On the other hand, in West Bengal, the proportion of out-of-school children was higher than the national average. Likewise, the proportion of children who had never attended school among the out-of-school children also varied widely from state to state. In Karnataka, the proportion was 50.45%, and in neighboring Tamil Nadu, it was 70.34%. These facts stare in our face. Why are children out of school? Why does a child never attend school? Why does a child drop out after a few years in school? The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is a national program that has been allocated every year large sums of money. Yet it appears there are issues concerning design, delivery, and implementation that need to be addressed in order to achieve the laudable objectives of the program. Addressing an audience of trained managers, I need hardly emphasize the importance of appropriate design, delivery, and effective implementation. Examples such as Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan can be multiplied. Telephones, especially mobile telephones, work brilliantly. But why does the Department of Post deliver ordinary mail at snail's pace? Why and how does wheat intended for distribution through the public distribution system reach private flour mills? How much fertilizer does a farmer who holds an hectare of land need? What is the cost? And what is the most effective way to deliver the subsidy directly to the farmer, leaving it to him to buy the fertilizer of his choice? If Mumbai and Delhi airports can be modernized and upgraded through the public-private partnership model, why is there reluctance to adopt the same model for Kolkata and Chennai airports? What is the distinction between a bank branch and an ATM if both must be licensed by the Reserve Bank of India? Why does a farmer sell his potato at 75 paise per kilogram in Salboni when it is sold to the consumer at rupees 7.50 a kilogram in nearby Kolkata? Why would a parent send her child to school that is 2, 3 or 5 kilometers away if there is no teacher in that school, or if there is a teacher, the teacher does not attend school every day? Please ask yourself these questions. It would be wrong to take a political or ideological view of these issues. These issues primarily involve questions of design, delivery, and implementation. I am not competent to speak of design and delivery of programs in China, but we know that China has a splendid record of implementation, especially in the infrastructure sector. China boldly proclaims that it is one country, two systems. Actually, there are three systems. The third is in little noticed Macau. Each system in China is geared towards implementation and the achievement of targets and goals, the most important being the creation of wealth. But this is not the occasion to speak on China. My immediate concern is India. I suspect that in India we have one country, one system, and as many interpretations as there are political parties. The Indian brand of deliberative democracy, with innumerable checks and balances, has often paralyzed decision-making, led us to accept suboptimal solutions, and ultimately exacted an enormous cost in terms of time and money while implementing a project or a program. This approach must change. In the case of development programs, the time has come to adopt, after due deliberation, a system, eschew conflicting interpretations of that system, and work that system to the best advantage of the people. Most development programs, although initiated or funded by the central government, are actually implemented by state governments and units of administration within a state. The cutting edge of implementation rests with agencies at the district, block, and village levels. The 9th plan document noted quite correctly that, and I quote, "Success stories have generally come about where different models of participation by people's institutions are being adopted. In fact, in most of the successful interventions, the constraints and inertia of the rural people have been removed through the involvement of facilitators or animators coming from all walks of life. Among them were political leaders, social activists, philanthropists, corporate managers, and government officials who successfully catalyzed the development process through people's participation." Unquote. Over the years, many development programs have bypassed the people and delivered poor results because they were seen as government programs. There is little public ownership of development programs. If you ask a villager about a road work in his village that is half complete, or about the dilapidated school building, his answer will invariably refer to a third person. They said the road will be completed before the rains, but they have not come here since last summer. Or, they promised to include our school in last year's list, but they did not, and our MLA intends to take it up with them. Who are they? And who are them? The disconnect between the citizen and the government is evident and perhaps even explicable. What is not so explicable is the disconnect between the citizen and the development program itself. The disconnect between the road and the citizen, the disconnect between the school building and the citizen. The villager knows that it is his money that is funding the half-complete road or the promised school building. Yet, there is no sense of ownership. Absent public ownership of development programs, there will be little accountability on the part of those who are charged with a duty to deliver the road or the school building. As the approach paper to the 11th plan points out, unless such accountability is established, it will be difficult to ensure significant improvement in delivery, even if additional resources are made available. Like many others, I've also spoken on several occasions about the two parts of India and the disconnect between them. There is one part of India, and I see representatives of that part here, that is eager to compete, win, and join hands with the best and the brightest in the global marketplace. There is, however, another part of India that is struggling, deprived, and frequently frustrated in its quest for a better life. The two parts must be connected. Policy failures and governance failures must be addressed. Deficiencies in design, delivery, and implementation must be remedied. Time is of the essence, and the consequences of failure are too grave to leave the task to government alone. There must be willing participation of other catalyzing agents, and among them, as I mentioned a little while ago, are corporate managers. This institution, the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, as it is popularly known, is a shining example of a big dream of one man, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, that was successfully achieved ahead of its time through public ownership of an idea and through many catalyzing agents such as public-spirited industrialists, the Government of India, the Government of Gujarat, and the residents of Ahmedabad. I would be happy if groups of young men and women will band together and each group will agree to give 2 or 3 years of their lives to engage in debate and discussion and to find innovative solutions that will make the India growth story inclusive, durable, and permanent. The National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, the Midday Meal Scheme, the Integrated Child Development Scheme, the National Rural Health Mission, the Bank Credit Linked Self-Help Group Scheme, and similar programs are key interventions in our effort to make the India growth story more broad-based and inclusive. The Planning Commission has placed some and will place more external monitors and evaluators to assess the implementation of these programs. I wonder if some of you, at some stage in your lives, will come forward and volunteer to work as monitors and evaluators at the block or district levels. That is a battleground where the war on poverty ignorance and disease will be won or lost. And we need more selfless foot soldiers on that ground. I shall leave you with that thought on one of the most important days of your life. I congratulate the students of the graduating class on the postgraduate diplomas that will be conferred upon them today. Their teachers and their parents and families may legitimately share this moment of pride, for without them, such achievement would not have been possible. I wish the students of the graduating class success in their chosen careers and in the objectives that they have set for themselves in their lives. Thank you, and God bless you.
Honourable Finance Minister Shri P. Chidambaram, the chief guest of our 42nd Convocation, Dr. Vijaypat Singhania, Chairman of our Board of Governors, members of the IIMA Society, the distinguished invitees, my colleagues, the proud parents of the graduating students and the graduating class of 2007. This is a memorable convocation for all of us at IIMA, as we have had the pleasure of listening to our Honourable Finance Minister Shri P. Chidambaram. Sir, your thought-provoking convocation address has certainly inspired our faculty and the graduating class. We are all grateful to you for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest of this convocation and spend this evening in our midst despite your extremely busy schedule. Today, IIMA is widely recognized as a top-ranking management school not only in India but the whole of Asia. During the last 4 years, several external rating agencies have conducted independent surveys of business schools. All of them, without exception, have rated IIM Ahmedabad as the best business school in India. Leading international rating agencies such as the Economist Intelligence Unit, Asia INC and Asia Week have ranked IIM Ahmedabad among the top 3 business schools in the Asia Pacific region. Our alumni occupy key positions in the top organizations in India and abroad. A large number of IIMA alumni have distinguished themselves as outstanding business leaders. While we are proud of our achievements, our aspirations are much higher. Our vision is to emerge as a top-ranking management school in the world, and our aim is to achieve global recognition as a leading player in the field of management education. We want to contribute to the evolution of brand India in the global marketplace for management education. By now, it has been well established that IIMA operates in the premium segment of the recruitment market, and it has always emerged as the first choice of both domestic and foreign recruiters. The outstanding success of this year's placements has once again reaffirmed the institute's position among the world's top-ranking business schools, with 28% of the 2-year program batch being placed overseas. The average salary for the domestic placements for the 2-year MBA increased by 40% during this year. The last 3 years have witnessed a growing preference among our students for entrepreneurship, and this year, as many as 11 students opted out of placements to set up their own businesses, and some of them have actually rejected highly lucrative job offers. We are confident that during the years to come, this number will grow. This year, we launched a unique 1-year postgraduate program for executives, and today, 60 bright executives of the pioneering batch of PGPX have graduated. This is a moment of pride and fulfillment for all of us at IIM Ahmedabad. The profile of the pioneering batch of PGPX has been truly world-class, and their placements have been outstanding. all of us are excited about the highly successful launch of PGPX, and we are confident that over the next few years, PGPX will emerge as a very powerful, strong brand, and the program will contribute significantly towards enhancing the IIMA brand in the global market. IIMA has been making a significant contribution to management research in a wide range of areas which are relevant to practitioners and policymakers. The thrust of our research and training initiatives extends to areas of concern for the society at large. Several initiatives have been taken in this direction during the academic year 2006-07. I will very briefly enumerate some of them. Ravi Mathai Center for Educational Innovation conducted specially designed programs for the principals of CBSE schools and also participated in the review of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. The Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship launched the 5th round of a unique national search competition called Convocation. During the year, the first incubatee exited from the center with successful commercialization of his product, while another incubatee succeeded in obtaining venture capital funding of rupees 3 crores. The Center for E-Governance completed 2 major studies on the impact of ICT applications in public sector and impact assessment study of e-governance projects in India. The Public Systems Group carried out significant research work in the fields of health systems management, energy and environment, infrastructure management, and urban management. The recently created Center for Management of Health Services entered into 15 new research collaborations with North American, European, and Asian institutions. It also conducted specially designed programs on data analysis for monitoring health programs and managerial challenges for HIV/AIDS programs. I am happy to inform you that the Government of India has appointed one of our faculty colleagues, Professor Ravindra Dholakia, as an expert member on the 6th Central Pay Commission. This is for the first time that a faculty member from the IIMs has been appointed on a Central Pay Commission. IIMA is a founder member of the Association of Asia Pacific Business Schools, and this year the institute hosted the 2nd annual conference of the association, and the theme of the conference was New Directions in Asia Pacific Management Education. Deans and directors of around 60 business schools from the Asia Pacific region attended this conference, and many of them, as they visited different parts of the campus, were full of praise for what they termed as truly world-class facilities at the recently developed new campus of the institute. The PGPs organized Confluence, the annual International Business School meet of IIM Ahmedabad, in November 2006. Around 90 foreign participants from 20 international business schools and around 900 participants from around 60 Indian schools attended Confluence 2006. The central theme of this year's Confluence was the India phenomenon. The event got unprecedented response and coverage in national and international media. The institute also organized another B-School meet titled Amathon 2007 with the sole focus on agribusiness and rural management, and it also received an overwhelming response. During the year, the institute took several initiatives to establish international collaborations and strengthen its global linkages. A comprehensive strategic partnership agreement was signed in July 2007 between Duke Corporate Education and Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad to deliver customized corporate education programs in Asia. The institute also entered into collaboration with the Columbia University for international immersion and international student exchange program. During the year, the institute has signed 6 new agreements with American and European business schools for international student exchange program, taking the number of IIMA's foreign partner institutions to 48, which is the highest for any school in this part of the world. During the year, the Institute conducted 2 executive development programs in Egypt for senior executives in Egypt and neighboring countries. During the year, the Institute also launched short duration programs in Muscat. In December 2006, the board had approved the proposal to initiate the process of EQUIS accreditation for IIM Ahmedabad. I am happy to inform you that the EQUIS Committee for European Foundation for Management Development has voted unanimously in its meeting held in February 2007 to declare IIMA eligible for entering the EQUIS accreditation process. While EQUIS accreditation process is expected to take around 18 to 24 months and would involve a large-scale intensive effort by the Institute faculty and other stakeholders, our success in getting the EQUIS accreditation at the end of that will surely pave the way for the enhanced global branding of the Institute. I am happy to inform you that during the year 2006, Economist Intelligence Unit rated IIM Ahmedabad as one of the top 12 institutions in the world for excellence in executive education programs. This is the first time ever that any institution for Asia has got a global recognition for its management development programs. This year, the Institute also received the Scotch Challenger Award for academic excellence. Over the last 4 years, we have implemented a major expansion program by increasing the intake in the PGP and the FPM, and also by launching PGPX. Tomorrow, we will be launching a unique 1-year postgraduate program in public management and policy. As a result of all these initiatives, the total student strength of IIMA, including PGP, PGP-ABM, FPM, PGP-X and PGP-PMP, will reach the level of around 800 by June 2007. In addition to this, the Institute launched a specially designed 6-month certificate course in business management for the officers of Indian Armed Forces in October 2006. This program received overwhelming response, and in view of the outstanding success of the first program, the Institute has decided to offer 2 such programs in the year 2007. It is the endeavor of the Institute to ensure that no student be denied opportunity to pursue postgraduate programs at IIMA for want of adequate financial resources. To serve this purpose, the Institute implemented an enlarged and enhanced need-based scholarship scheme during the year, under which 70 students were given need-based scholarships amounting to around 50 lakhs. We have been able to achieve all this only through the sustained and dedicated efforts of our distinguished faculty and highly committed administrative support staff. And I'm confident that with their collective effort and teamwork, we will be able to achieve our mission of becoming a globally renowned institute during the years to come. Before I conclude, I would like to say a few words to the graduating class of 2007. I congratulate you on successfully completing the highly demanding program of IIM Ahmedabad. As you leave us this evening, we wish each one of you brilliant success and sustained happiness in whatever you choose to do while climbing the ladder of progress in your career. Let me also add that we are delighted to welcome you as our alumni. You are going to be our best brand ambassadors. Remember, no world-class institution has been able to achieve its glory without an effective contribution from its alumni. I'm sure you would like to come back to your alma mater and make your own contribution to the fulfillment of its vision and future plans. God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here to the program. I now declare the convocation function closed. Thank you very much.